to my channel. Apologies about my voice. I think I'm getting sick again. I think I'm getting another cold. I really don't know what is going on this year. It's been one after the next after October, but I really hope I can continue filming. So please excuse my voice and bear with me throughout this video. Today I have for you another makeup tutorial. I'm feeling really inspired to do makeup lately, and today I have for you a holiday look. I haven't done one of these before, so I thought I would do it, and it is this look with a kind of really glossy red lip and really neutral eyes. It's just a really simple thin liner and a little bit of a flick at the end. I've added some falsies to add a little bit of drama, and I've got a kind of golden eyeshadow going on. I don't know if the camera is picking that up, but it is a very kind of sparkly look, perfect for the holiday season. I know it's a very classic look, but I really love this look, and I thought I would do a tutorial. It's actually inspired by this look that Leighton Meester sported, I think about a couple of years ago. I don't know if it was specifically for the holiday season, but I really love this look. I've seen it quite a few times on the internet when you look for kind of holiday looks, and I really love the combination. We both have dark brown eyes, so I thought it was a good look for me to replicate. It's not exactly the same. I have added a little bit more sparkle to the eyes just to make it a little bit more festive, but it is very similar, so I hope you like it. And it isn't that difficult to do. It's kind of my usual base with contour and so on, so you've seen that many times, and then it's a very simple eye and then just the red lips. So I hope you enjoy this tutorial. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it, and let's get started with the tutorial. Okay, so as usual, we're going to kick everything off with a little bit of moisturizer, and I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream. Because it's winter, my skin is a lot drier, so I find that I need quite a lot of moisturizer for my skin to feel hydrated and my foundation to sit well on top. Foundation, I'm using my usual mix, the BB cream from Dior with a little bit of the YSL Tout Eclat foundation. These two together are really hydrating and they sit really nicely on my skin, and I just kind of rub it in with hands just to make it a little bit warmer on my skin, and then just blend it out with a damp beauty blender. And I find that they don't give too much coverage, but they kind of cover enough. Then to correct my darkness underneath my eyes, I'm using this corrector from Tarte, the CC Under Eye Corrector, and it's a kind of salmony color, and I'm taking this all the way into the inner corner of my eye just because I've got that part quite dark as well, and I've got kind of veins showing through there. And I'm using a little bit around my lip area just because I've got a bit of pigmentation there, and also around my nose. So I'm just blending it out with this Shuramura synthetic brush. And then I'm going to go in straight with concealer, and I'm using the Clé de Peau concealer in the color Ocher. And I'm using this in the usual places, so to slim my nose down, and then underneath my eyes, and to cover any blemishes. And this concealer is so good because it's so hydrating, so nourishing. I find that it doesn't crease, but it still offers loads of coverage. I find it super helpful to apply it with a brush because I find that if I just kind of glide it onto my skin, I end up applying too much product, so the brush kind of helps me control how much I put on. And I feel that I need a really good concealed eye when I'm using red lipstick, just because otherwise my skin can tend to look a little sallow with the red lipstick. So with concealer, it just kind of brightens it and brings it all up a little bit. So then I'm using the NARS Creamy Concealer as a highlighter, and I'm using this underneath my eyes in a kind of reverse triangle, and then on the chin, on the bridge of my nose, and a little bit on my forehead just to kind of brighten these areas. And I'm also applying a little bit to the corners of my lips because I just find that this helps them kind of lift them and look like they're going upwards rather than downwards, so it kind of gives you a more youthful look. I'm blending this out with fingers and then going straight in with a damp beauty blender just to finish blending out all the product, removing any excess and just making it all look really nice and natural. I'm then going to go in with the LA Girl Pro Concealer in the color Toast, and I'm using this as a cream contour, and I'm using this underneath my cheekbones, around my jawline, my nose, a little bit on my chin, and just kind of the areas where I need a little more definition. And as you can see, actually with my jaw, I'm going a little bit above where my actual jawbone is, just because I have it quite
kind of low down, and I find that the bottom part of my face is a little sagging, so this kind of helps it lift it and create an illusion of the line being a little higher than it actually is. So I find that that really helps. And then I'm blending it out with a brush first, and then going straight in with my damp beauty blender to finish blending it out. To add just a touch more definition, I'm going in with this eraser eye from Maybelline, which is actually a concealer, but it's pretty light, and I'm just applying it directly from the sponge that it has at the top, and I'm just applying a little bit around the areas where I've contoured, so just below my cheek contour and around my nose contour, a little bit in the center of my chin, just to make this contour a little more crisp and a little more defined. And I find this really helps also to finish blending it out and for the lines not to look as harsh, because sometimes, because the contour is pretty dark, it can just kind of darken all my skin up a little bit. I'm then going to apply a little bit of this translucent powder from Mercier underneath my eyes, and I'm applying it with a damp beauty blender and just kind of pressing it in, because I just find that it helps the concealer set better if I apply it with a sponge and no kind of crease lines appear throughout the day. But on the rest of my face, I'm applying it in all the areas where I've highlighted. I'm just applying it with this Charlotte Tilbury brush, just because if I apply it with a sponge, it just looks a little too heavy on my skin. On a side note, I don't know if you've realized, but I actually use that brush for absolutely everything. It is my most favorite brush for blush, for powder. It's amazing. To powder the rest of my face, I'm just going in with this by Terry powder, which I've used in my previous tutorial, which I'll link below if you haven't watched it. And it's amazing. It's like the Hourglass ambient powder, but better. It's super finely milled. It's not kind of too matte, but it's not shimmery either, so you can use it as a setting powder, but it still doesn't make your skin look too flat. So I really, really love it, and I think it gives a very natural look to the skin, which is amazing, because I don't want to look too kind of caked on because of the dark lip. I'm then applying a little bit of Dior primer to my eyes and then going straight onto lips, and I'm using this Chanel lip liner in the color Rouge Profond, I think it's called, and it's amazing because it glides on super nicely and it's a perfect match for the lipstick. So I'm kind of filling it in on the corners of my lips just to do a little bit of lip contouring, and then just kind of applying a line all around my lip just to kind of define the contours. I find that lip liners really, really help, especially with dark lipsticks, just because it helps it not bleed, and also it kind of helps you define your lips and create the perfect shape, because we're always kind of a little unbalanced, so this really helps. I'm then going in with this Chanel lipstick in Rouge Allure in the color Profound, and I'm just applying this first from the bullet and then with the lip pencil just to go in nicely into all the corners. And then this is quite a matte lip, but I really like the kind of shade it has. But just to brighten the look up a little, make it a little more red and add a little bit of gloss, I'm going in with this Charlotte Tilbury lip lacquer and just applying that all over my lips. And this is going to make them look fuller and glossier and give you that super, super glam holiday look. I'm moving straight onto eyes. I'm just going to spray my brush with a little bit of setting powder from Urban Decay, and that's just to kind of intensify the eyeshadow. And then I'm going with an Urban Decay eyeshadow in Half Baked, which is a golden shimmery color, and with this sprayed on brush it just looks really, really nice and glossy, and it's the perfect kind of look for the holidays. It just kind of makes your look sparkle a little more, and I love that when you kind of close your eyes you've got that sparkle going on. So I'm just patting this onto the main area of my lid just to give it as maximum intensity as possible. And I'm not really blending it out, I'm just kind of leaving it really packed on. And then I'm going to go with this eyeshadow. It's actually from the brow kit from e.l.f., but I like to use it as an eyeshadow. It's a medium brown color, but in a kind of warmer shade of brown. And I'm just applying this with the Sigma fluffy brush, and I'm just blending it into my socket line and just a little bit above to just lift my eyes, just because they're a little bit hooded. And then I'm going to go in with the smoke shadow from the Charlotte Tilbury Instant Look in a palette, which is the perfect crease shade to add a little bit of natural looking depth. And I'm just going to use that to go really into my socket line, not going above at all, just to add some depth. And then using the same Urban Decay shadow but with a dry brush, I'm just using that underneath my brows just to define my brow bone and lift the look a little bit. I'm then going in with a gel liner by Estee Lauder, and I'm applying a very, very thin line. And then I'm going to perfect this with a liquid liner, which is in a pencil kind of format by Maybelline, just to kind of perfect the flick at the end. But it's a very, very thin line, and it's got a very small flick, just really trying to replicate the look on Leighton Meester. This look is actually kind of a take on the Pinup look, but just with a little more sparkle and a little more gloss. I'm then going to go in with this Chantecaille pencil just to line my upper waterline, and it's amazing, honestly. I will probably include this in my next favorites because it is such a great pencil. It is super long lasting, it doesn't smudge at all, but it's really easy to blend in and really soft as well, and it's also really, really black, which I love. I'm then going to line my lower lash line with the brown shadow from the Charlotte Tilbury palette, and then going with a little bit of brown pencil just to line my lower waterline. And then I'm going to go straight in with bronzer, and I'm using the Anastasia contour kit, and I'm just kind of using it more as a blush than as a bronzer this time. And then I'm using the Fawn shade from the same contour kit just to add a little bit more contour and a little bit more definition. So I'm just going to use it over all the areas where I applied the cream contour earlier, and also a little bit around my forehead. And I'm using the same Charlotte Tilbury brush, which you can see has come in really, really handy in this tutorial. I wasn't actually going to apply any blush, and I was just going to leave it with bronzer, but I just felt that my skin looked a bit too pale and too sallow. It's got a yellow undertone naturally, so if I don't apply blusher, it can just look a little bit too dull, and my face can look more sagging than it naturally already is. So I just applied a very, very natural blush from Charlotte Tilbury in the color First Love, and then I'm going in with my favorite highlighter by Becca in Champagne Pop, and just applying this to the high points of my cheek, a little bit onto my brow bone, on the top of my bridge of my nose, and a little bit on my forehead, and just above my brows, just to lift the look and make it really kind of glossy. I don't want it too glittery, but I did want that kind of super highlighted look, perfect for like a party. Then I'm going in with a little bit of the Fawn shade again from the Anastasia contour kit just to finish contouring my nose. And then I'm just going to kind of take a little bit of the shade from the top part just with what's remaining on my concealer brush, just because I don't want that to look darker because it makes my eyes look closer together. I'm then going to curl my eyelashes, and I'm going in with my usual, the Push-Up Drama Mascara by Maybelline, and just 2 coats on the top lashes and 2 coats on the bottom lashes. I'm applying some falsies, and I've done my eyebrows off camera because it's a very lengthy process and you don't need to see it again.
So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Like you saw, it's not that difficult, and it's a perfect look for the holidays. It's perfect for daytime and evening parties, so because the eyes are not too strong, I feel that you could carry off during the day, and I love the red lip for the holidays. So I wish you a very, very happy holiday season, and I will be posting more holiday inspired tutorials. I love this kind of festive season that's coming up ahead, so I'm feeling really inspired to film a lot of stuff around kind of Christmas and New Year's ideas, looks, hairstyles. So I hope you enjoy this, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, guys.